gentlemen, the Uncutt Podcast.
Wanted to do the thing. I never get to do that.
I'm sorry, everybody that's watching a video version of this.
You guys
I thought that was what we do now.
No,
we should.
Matt, why don't you do the thing? Matt, give us a double.
Come on, Matt.
Throw it up.
no.
Oh.
I was trying to do Kumbaya, but actually what I wanted to do when this thing started was do this.
I've always had to be anti-establishment, so no.
I got a beef with you, Nick.
You have a beef with me?
Before the show even starts, I got a major beef with you. I happened to hear your Anchor commercial. Great interview, great commercial. You know,
It's awesome. I love it.
I loved it until
Nick,
the part that I would like an explanation for. You said, so if you want to be like me, Matt, God forbid, Robbie. What was the meaning of that?
Well,
I'll field this one.
Matt, will you take this one? Thank you.
Yep. We know you.
Yes.
I don't know what you mean.
We're
Okay.
familiar with you, Robbie.
This one again. Go watch our previous episodes.
Have you watched the other 12 episodes of the show, Robbie?
I was there.
Were you?
We don't need to explain anymore then.
Okay, good. So fresh off the Uncutt Podcast helps present Supgraps, True Believers this past Sunday. Great fucking show.
Great show.
Your boy Alex Kane was on there. Daniel McCabe versus Cole Radrick was fucking awesome. If you haven't watched the show, go watch it. If for no other reason than Brett Eisen versus Ashton Starr was off the charts. Yeah. And that main event with Violence is Forever versus Zero fucking Lucci. I'm literally right there at ringside, and I've heard a lot of people get hit in my life. That was a special level of motherfuckers hitting each other.
Yeah.
I would normally play the video clip right now of, a certain big Edward saying some words. Fuck it.
Big meaty man slapping meat.
That's what it was. Big meaty men were slapping meat. Supgraps was fucking killer. Can't wait for the next show. Trust me, the Uncutt Podcast will be there live in full effect. But tonight, we said we were going to have the rejects on, had some scheduling stuff. We moved that to Sunday. Yeah. Will be the Halloween special episode Sunday night on Anchor, Spotify, YouTube. Matt Minnick will not be here.
I will.
Matt Minnick has a real life. But me and Robbie will be here with John Wayne Murdoch, with Reed Bentley, and Satu Jin. Gonna be fucking insane.
What are you gonna be for Halloween, Matt?
I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be a dad. If you want me to dress up as something, I could be everybody's favorite doormat. But other than that, no, it's more about them than me. So I don't want to take away from anything on that. I used to do the whole group costume thing, and it's just exhausting.
I'm gonna wear a number 12 Georgetown jersey and be Matt Minnick.
You could always do that. You can even switch it up. Get the Cincinnati.
Yeah, I don't have time to get that off of eBay. So it's Thursday, Halloween Sunday. Shipping's hard out in the country.
That's fair.
But tonight, in lieu of the rejects, we have the face of the indie movement. The dude.
Hold on. Now, Dad.
Yes.
Yes, so this conversation's kind of weird to ask, and Robbie, care to join in on this? So,
sure.
If we call you Dad, and then we have TJ coming in. Do we call him Grandpa or the boss or
I just call him the GOAT, ladies and gentlemen. TJ Vegas. Can we beat the tide? Let's ride the birds. there he is. Hey, look,
Yeah.
he's doing the thing, everybody.
You got to move the head, though.
Yeah, you got to give it one of these, like MLJ taught Robbie. There it
Better.
is.
How's it
TJ,
going,
how
dude?
you doing, man? I don't know that we've ever really spoken, so...
I'm just chilling, having some beers. We got the Broken Skull Steve Weiser's motherfucker right here. So.
There you go.
Delicious.
So, man, how's it been? What's been your thing in indie wrestling the last few weeks?
Man, I've been really into New Texas Pro.
Okay.
Been watching that a lot. Whenever GCW has something, I try to watch that. And I also been checking out a lot of like Joshi stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, it's all over the place. Things that I can find, not really like newer stuff, but I was watching Mayu Yamashita versus Meiko Satomura and stuff like that, like Emi Sakura versus whoever.
Nice.
There's some solid workers from Japan. Always good stuff.
Gotta love Joshi. My trainer once said Joshi is where all good wrestling is invented, and then stolen by men in Japan, and then bastardized by American independent wrestling.
NWO.
Well, yes.
Maybe.
Oh man.
Pinch.
Yeah.
So,
take out the Joshi aspect of it, then that's NWO.
Yeah.
So did you hear the news about ROH, Ring of Honor yesterday, the big contract releases and stuff?
It's very bittersweet because it's like now the indies have been booming. Probably the best they've been in like 15 years, in all honesty. Now with people from Ring of Honor getting to go and explore the indies, at least for a little bit before like Ring of Honor rebrands themselves and might ask them to come back. You know what's going to happen. I would just say the indies are going to be knucking foots for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be ridiculous. I'm thinking things like you're going to see GCW and it's going to be like John Moxley's in the ring cutting a promo and then Brody King's going to come out and slap the shit out of him.
Aha. Well, let me jump in on that one. Piggybacking off of Mr. Biceps up there. Don't look down at me like that. It just looks weird. So bringing up the whole Ring of Honor conversation and things like that, Brody King, Roosh, Bandito, and so many others already have signed with AEW. So how do you feel about some of them going forward? Danhausen's even in AEW now.
Did they sign or are they making appearances?
They have signed. ROH allowed the signatures to happen before they pulled the trigger.
I've been so busy at work, I have missed all of this.
How the fuck did I not know this?
Jay Lethal is in AEW now as well. Roosh, Bandito, Brody King, Danhausen. There's a bunch of them that signed.
Oh wow, because that was the question I was going to ask. I know that I read a report earlier today saying that WWE wasn't interested in any of them. I can't see that they're not interested in any of them.
Because Tony Khan already went through and cleaned the bag.
You think so? It was already a prearranged kind of.
If you already got Roosh and you've got Brody King and Bandito and you've got some of the others that they signed, even Danhausen just for his charisma alone, put Danhausen in with Bryan Danielson, let's go. Or Danhausen versus Orange Cassidy on AEW, let's double fucking go.
Bryan Danhausen. Yeah, man.
Bryan Danhausen. I just want to see Danielson in the Danhausen makeup. He's already doing a masked gimmick on Dark. I mean, why the fuck not, right?
Is he?
Yeah, he did. I can't remember the name, but he has a full masked lucha gimmick that he's doing. Cody, and the finish of his match on Dark was airplane spin and then a fucking small package. They were like, it's so very clearly Bryan Danielson under the hood that it's ridiculous.
I haven't been watching Dark, so I'm missing all this stuff.
Same here.
I really only watch it now when like James is on, but I will make a point at some point to watch that stuff.
Shout out JD Drake, the wingman.
Shout out friend of the show, JD Drake. Friend of all of ours, JD Drake.
Love that guy.
Hey, brother.
I always mark out when I see him on my TV.
So here's the question. Like I told TJ off air, that I had a question I wanted to ask him that it was going to be a mainstream question. So it's going to not maybe tickle his fancy, but it's going to tickle his fancy a little bit. Bray Wyatt officially becomes a free agent tonight at midnight. And I know a lot of people online like TikTok, how you and I normally communicate. They've been, well, it still says at WWE Bray Wyatt on his, and it's not anymore. It's at Wyndham 6. Where does he go?
What's the 6th best wrestling promotion? No.
ICW No Holds Barred.
There we go. Man, I would like to say, I was going to say Ring of Honor, and then they pulled that shit. So now I'm thinking Impact Wrestling is definitely a good one, because then he has the potential like opportunities to go and work in AEW from time to time while building himself up, building the future, and help bring more eyes to Impact itself, because they've been lacking in viewership, but their product has been amazing. Now you can elevate the product and bring more eyes on there, and I feel like everybody wins.
Moose
is my fucking dude.
I don't care what people said. You could tell the fucking like smart marks that got pissed off that Josh Alexander lost that belt. That was maybe one of the moments, and I did a podcast talking about Impact Wrestling. The other one I was doing for a little while. We talked about Impact a lot. And that's the best way you could fucking do it. You have the ultimate babyface moment, like 16 years of work, and Moose becomes overnight the biggest fucking heel. Not that he wasn't already, but even more. Because not only did he beat that man, he beat that man in front of his wife and child, who didn't even get out of the ring.
Dude, he pulled a reverse Orton. He was like, I'm going to beat you up in front of your dad. And now it's like, I'm going to beat your dad up in front of you, bitch.
Yeah.
Glorious, I got to disagree with you, though, on that, dude. I mean, I think, I don't know what kind of money Bray was making in WWE, but I don't really see him
good.
I don't think he's going to take as much of a pay. He's going to take as little of a pay cut as he can. Khan signed Malachi Black and Rusev and those guys. I think if he's going anywhere besides, it's not at work in WWE. What if he actually popped into WWE and wasn't going? What if that was all kayfabe?
Could we see him in NWA?
So I
can see him in NWA, but I don't think the production would be enough.
I want to address your question, but first I want to aim something right at TJ real quick. Think of Bray Wyatt versus Brody King. I'm in. I'm in.
Just two big, meaty, tattooed men slapping meat.
Yep. Now, you. I disagree with you because of the relationship that Bray Wyatt has with Tom Savini. With his relationship with Tom Savini, you're telling me that Bray Wyatt couldn't transition into a movie role and be better than fucking Kane was in See No Evil?
Yeah.
Kane was pretty good in See No Evil.
I was just looking at Reddit. He was shooting something on the Warner Brothers lot today.
Yes, he was.
So something's coming, and it's coming soon.
So is Alec Baldwin.
Grab a towel. It's coming soon.
Robbie, you go sit in the corner and think about what you've done.
If Casey was here from Just Plain Filthy podcast, he'd be like, time to erase the incident board.
Dude, I'm going to tell you this. Alec Baldwin does have one of my favorite quotes, though. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Oh, man.
So, God bless.
Michael Scott that said that.
No. Definitely Alec Baldwin.
Are we talking on that subject for a minute?
No.
I'd rather not.
Moving on.
Oh yeah, right. Non-wrestling related, but it was technically a shoot.
You're the one that agreed to the format of the show, you mouth breather. This is on you.
I didn't want to laugh at that, but that was
professional
good.
Guests on, because this is how Robbie acts.
Sorry,
he pulls back a little when the wrestlers are on.
I can't wait to hear this audio cut back on my Apple. Oh, this is gonna be great through Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, or on Spotify, Anchor.
Wherever you can listen to that.
Wherever you listen to podcasts, even though you're already listening to this one, if you've gotten this
and
far.
You don't even need a minimum amount of listeners.
God forbid.
If you want to do what I'm trying to do here, make a little money.
Did you write that? Did you write that commercial, or was that, or what?
No, they gave me a fucking script.
Oh, really? But you got to add it.
I've done it 3 times
bit, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could add a little bit to it, but they give you here's the bullet points to hit.
Gotcha.
And I was like, I just want to get this over with, so fuck it. I'm just gonna say what they gave me.
Yeah, you got to Roman Reigns it a little bit.
Yeah. So, okay, we've seen a lot of indie guys lately get their contracts, right? Like Lee Moriarty, Daniel Garcia, the big
Those two made me so happy.
Although I said this when Jesse was on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to say it again tonight. I think Daniel Makabe is better than both of them.
I think Alex Kane's better than Powerhouse Hobbs.
And Alex Kane admitted that on his show that he thinks he would have fitted better on Team Taz.
Oh, I believe so. Yeah.
But so who's the next guy? Like, who do you think is the next guy that's going to be like contracted performer?
I mean, I feel like they already have started this a little bit, but Anthony Green.
Yeah, I could see that
because he had his shine in WWE for a little bit. They started giving a small push. They moved into 205. He comes back to the Indies. He sets fire to the Northeast Indie scene. And then he starts doing things on AEW and gets a small spot on AEW Dark. I mean, and then he gets on AEW Dynamite. I feel like the only thing left to do now is give him a match with a little bit more offense, show people what he can do, and then offer him that contract.
Yeah. And the fact that his first night on Dynamite, he gets bumped by Sting. Like, that's kind of like hey, we kind of like this guy. Let's see how the fans react to this.
Especially if he pulls back with that retro gimmick again instead of just wearing like jeans again. Like he goes all back retro.
In Carney.
Oh, awesome!
He's one of the three modern wrestlers that can do that, and he studied it too.
Oh, dude, man! When he did it, like he did it like I think a shoot interview. He started talking to Carney, and I was like, oh, it's 2001 all over again. My heart. I don't know how to react.
No, Robbie, Robbie, don't read your question yet. No, you hold your question. I'm fielding one real quick, and we'll come back to you.
You know what? I grant you.
You know I'm in the perfect state where I will forget this by the time you ask that question, if you get what I'm saying.
I got you. Jump on in, baby.
Mr. Vegas, how are you? So this is going to be a weird type of question. Of all the indie wrestlers that you've been watching and things like that, who do you think would be the next great gimmick wrestler like a Rick Martel as like the model, or a Tyler Breeze, and one of those types of eccentric type of roles where it can actually pan out?
I mean, he had a small role in AEW Dark and he looked terrible. So if he didn't do what he did, I would have said the one-man thrill ride Jimmy Preston, because Jimmy Preston was a loudmouth. He had all the catchphrases like "yup, see ya, dink," and shit like that. And like he would always just cut promos in his car. He would like give himself advertisements and stuff to do. He was good at the talking. He flexed himself all the time. He was like body guy. He would have been perfect for that kind of role on an AEW or whatever company he would have went to. And then when he pulled up, he's covered in like oil and he's got a pink bow tie, and that's it. And he doesn't do any moves in the ring. I'm like, fucking Christ, he's ruined all hope of anybody giving you potential. But it would have been Jimmy Preston. I feel like that guy is underrated and has been working at it for so long in the Northeast that like you just give him that opportunity, he's gonna knock it out of the park.
And can we have like, some Just Plain Filthy arrogance shirts at some point?
You're gonna spray yourself with the arrogance spray, but the label's just gonna say piss.
Use your
So how long have you been watching like deathmatch wrestling and indie wrestling?
I watched deathmatch wrestling before I watched WCW or WWE.
Really? So in all that time you've been watching this, man, if you had to like right now pinpoint the most brutal, insane match you've ever seen, maybe a match where you were saying, man, these guys need to stop, dude. What one stands out in your mind the most?
Viagra on the pole match.
No.
Judy Bagwell on a forklift match.
I stopped myself.
I don't remember who the other person in this match was. I just rewatched it, a clip from it the other day, which brought back all the memories. It was a Freedoms match, and with Violento Jack, and he decided to lift up the ring apron, the ring mats, and lift up all the boards off the ring and create a hole in the ring. And then he put glass with sawed in half Coke cans on it. And then just package pile driver somebody through the glass right to the concrete floor below. And I was like, visually amazing. Effect-wise, great. It's believable, everything. Also, kind of OP. I'm scared for that guy now. But, like, that guy is so good. Most of the hardcore matches that I would say would probably have either Jun Kasai in it, Violento Jack, or Onita. Any of those three in any match will be one of those matches that I could throw out for that question.
Awesome, man.
No, Nick.
Yes, Matthew.
I'm jumping in again. This is great.
God.
Just because TJ and I haven't had a lot of conversations.
You weren't even feeling it tonight, Matt.
I'm still kind of just here and I'm not here. Deathmatch wrestling question, but in a different way. If you were to pick one person from AEW and one person from WWE right now to do a death match in like GCW, who would it be?
Oh shit, man.
Give me a Survivor Series death match. Literally.
A Survivor Series death
No,
match?
just
Like
one-on-one. Someone's got to survive. Someone's got to die. Like we're
okay. You said Survivor Series. I'm like, fuck, I ain't doing 5-on-5 death match.
I could tell by the look on your face you couldn't think that far out on it.
No, I couldn't. I think Seth Rollins could hold his own in something like that, given the right opponent. I'd like to see Seth Rollins and Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I feel like because then you got the speed and agility, and like the promos that would lead up to it for Seth Rollins would be good.
Absolutely.
He'd play that arrogant heel. He'd have like the drippiness, all that shit. And then you'd have Eddie Kingston, who can brawl with the best of them, hard hits. He can take a punch, so that makes it believable. And the promos would be good. It would be a good selling point. It would be a good thing to watch, and the build for it would be amazing.
Nice. So we're getting close to the end of the year. It's like end of October where we're taping this for anybody that listens to it later on. What are your 3 top matches on the Indies in 2021 as of right now? Or more if you need them.
I'm probably going to need to relook at what the actual lineup was, because I know the match, but I don't want to forget somebody's name. But one of the first ones would be Mysterious Q versus Fuego del Sol from New Texas Pro.
Okay.
That match was so good, especially if you don't go into it knowing that Fuego del Sol can actually wrestle. If you're looking at it strictly from an AEW standpoint, and you're like, this fucking jobber, like this guy, he's gonna lose, he's gonna do everything, and then you go into this match, your expectations are gonna be far exceeded. Yeah. The match was so good. There was a no ring death match, a no peace underground match that happened. It was a hardcore scramble match.
Okay.
It was Lord Crew, Devin Monroe.
Okay.
Kevin Blackwood, JJ Garrett, and like 3 other people. The match was a giant clusterfuck, but like everybody had their own spot to shine, and the first like minute and a half is just Kevin Blackwood going ham on everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like inventive stuff. Like, oh, you missed this kick? Now the kick's coming back, hits you in the back of the head, lays them out with a sickening thud. Like the whole entire thing, selling, storytelling, the spots themselves, and how everybody, like all 7 people in the match, got their own time to shine was so good. Now I know what it's from. I just need to refresh myself, because it was a 4-way match to determine limitless heavyweight contender. It was Alec Price versus Lee Moriarty versus Brad Cashew versus Nolo Kitano.
All right.
That match was insane because Alec Price came out with the first ever babyface reaction he's ever got. And he just went from bell to bell and just set the place on fire and ended up being the one to have to face Anthony Green for the Limitless Pro Championship.
Nice.
So it's going to be really cool. He's one of my ones to watch out for this year.
All right, man, let's talk about music for a little bit, but not in the way you're probably used to. In regards to wrestling, man. Theme songs in the indies, maybe the main rosters like the SmackDown and Raw and AEW, dude. What are your favorite theme songs? And then after you talk about that for a minute, maybe you could tell us if there was one guy on the indies scene and you could do his ring entrance music for him, who would it be?
Okay. Right now, AEW wise, Daniel Garcia's theme song is really good. I like it. They got some like New York boom bap rapper to like do his whole entire entrance theme, and it was weird at first, and then it grew on me that way that he made a whole 3-minute song, verses, choruses, everything about Daniel Garcia, and Daniel Garcia is a huge hip hop head. I was like, that's cool. Yeah, the whole vibe checks out. That's insane. And then weird choice that I don't see anybody ever talk about, which is also a throwback, the LWO theme song.
Nice.
Hold on.
Yeah, I listened to that song and I just immediately feel dirty. I'm just like, oh, I need a shower, because you're like, and then you, and I'm like just vibing out with it. It's so good. As far as Indy goes, Effie is probably one of my favorite entrances.
Yes.
He comes out to Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, which I never would have thought to have that for a theme song. And so I listened to an interview of his, and he's like, this is actually the most punk rock song, because it's about Andy Warhol and him saying fuck you to all his friends in Hollywood because he doesn't want to be like them. He wants to be himself. And I was like, oh, yes, definitely. This song definitely. And that's all I can think of at the top of my head. But I like anything that really encapsulates the energy that they're trying to put forward for their character. If it's like a dark character and they come out with some real bassy, heavy music, I'm like, okay, shit's about to get real. But if they're like a baby face and they have some upbeat, like pop punk ska stuff, that just immediately gets me going too. So it all depends on what the character is. If it fits them, then I'm into it.
Did you, before you answer the second part of that question about who you'd want to write a song for, did you happen to, on Monday Night Raw, to get to see, I don't know if you watched or not, Damian Priest's new theme song? I actually warmed up to him a little bit because I didn't like him before that.
I didn't check it out. I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown or really NXT for that matter since before last WrestleMania.
Oh, gotcha. Well,
so it's been a bit.
He's boycotting the product, boys.
It's just like I'd rather sit down and spend the time watching things that I know I like than continuously watching something that I'm not really into in hopes that I'm going to like it sometime down the line.
Yeah. Okay. But with that, the idea of having Tommaso Ciampa versus Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker doesn't sound that bad. Like it's coming in a month or two.
I might check that. I might check highlight videos or something. I don't want to watch the whole product.
Braun Breaker's been surprisingly impressive.
Dude looks like a specimen, and I'm really excited for the fact that he can go. They're giving him time to do homages to his family without blatantly just being like Steiner. So I'm happy with that. But to answer the
freak though, so that's kind of like a
nice. People need to realize that's not Scott's son. That's Rick's son.
Yeah, you can't tell though.
You really can't.
He sounds like Scott. He looks like Scott, and he kind of looks more like Scott.
He looks like 90s Scott, besides for like the not having the mullet.
Well, what the Steiner family doesn't know won't hurt him. To go with the second part of Robbie's question, I think I'd love to do a song for Scorpio Sky.
That'd be slick.
Because I know he is a big hip hop fan, and he's not like a Drake hip hop fan. He's like an old school hip hop fan, and that's my niche. I love doing that stuff. So I feel like as long as like if he would be down for it, I would love to throw my hat in there and write something for him. Because I'm a big fan. I've been watching him since like 2007. I've been a fan of him since. It's so, yeah, it's perfect.
What about the Acclaim though?
The Acclaim. I mean, Max got that covered. I'm not going to take that away from him. Max is a great rapper. If you watch the stuff on TikTok and on Twitter and stuff, like he knows what he's doing, but he only has like a 30-second window to do his stuff against his opponents, and it's mostly just dick jokes at that point in time.
Yeah.
But then you watch him online, and you're like, "Where is this?
Yep.
Where is this? I'm looking for this," and you're giving me like, "This dude's got a small pain," and you're like, "Okay." Dick joke number fucking 410. Got it.
Booking me for oral sessions.
That was a great line, only because you could see Moxley legit get angry.
Mox wanted to kill him.
Yeah, and got him right as he came through the ropes too. I'm like, oh.
It's like, how do you know she
that.
does that thing with the pop rocks? My thing.
She's the lunatic fringe in our house.
So, all right, if you could book the Just Plain Filthy fucking indie movement dream card,
Okay.
what are your top matches? Give me as many as you got, because I know you got a fucking just cornucopia of ideas.
There's a couple things that I'd want to do that are far out of left field. I would love if they were still in their prime, honestly. I would say Messiah and Altar Boy Luke come back for one more time together to face off against the Batiri.
Oh, sir. Sir. That's too much, sir. You need to calm down.
I want to do a New England showcase because, proud New England boy here, but also the indie scene is just stacked here. So I want Brian Fury to come out of retirement to face off against up-and-comers Rip Bison, Alec Price, Danger Kid, and I had this kind of idea, and now I can't think of it. JT Dunn.
Oh.
Have them all together in like a 5-way New England showcase match. I want a hardcore match between Atticus Kogar. This is the Just Plain Filthy portion. Atticus Kogar versus Dirtbag Dan versus Smiley. And just to throw a wrench into all of it, Brittany Wonder. Because Brittany Wonder can go, and she's hardcore as fuck. I want the rematch between Justin Kyle and Anthony Lee.
Okay.
Because those dudes are brick shit houses that can do no wrong when it comes to wrestling matches.
Kyle and Broner fucking killed it at ICW last month.
I'm so far behind with ICW.
Oh, dude. Yeah, take a day and just go watch like the last 4 pit shows.
And I want to see B-Boy versus Dan Moff versus Bad Dude Tito.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
I watched Bad Dude Tito at Bloodsport. That dude can fucking go.
Yeah, and he bulked up so much. He used to be like a lot leaner, smaller guy back in the day who was just like, you just look at him and you're like, what a scumbag. But now he's that scumbag dude that you're like, you hide your stuff from him so he doesn't rob you at gunpoint. Yeah, that's him now. But I think those matches would be good. And then, of course, I want to throw music on there because giant, Just Plain Filthy indie movement fest. Just throw some shit in there, too. But
me and MLJ legitimately had a conversation after the podcast about doing, we just wish we could do like an indie wrestling / battle rap show.
Oh, shit.
Like
I don't battle rap, but I'll throw my hat in there.
Dude, you basically battle rap.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kill.
Without going too deep in all of our histories, you basically battle rap.
Robbie, I know you're wanting to ask the next question because I see you already looking at your notes 15 times.
We always know when Robbie's got one lined up because you can always see it.
I'm a bad poker player. I'm probably,
and that's why I'm cutting you off again. Mr. Vegas, before build me the best indie wrestler. Give me best wrestling style, body, look, and charisma. Build me the best indie wrestler you know right now.
And why is it AC back?
That's phenomenal.
Fuck. I would say I want the mic skills of frontman Jaw.
All right.
Because that dude just kind of like, I'm here, you're welcome, and I love that.
Yeah.
But it's not like the fact, like it's not like MJF where like you hear everything he's going to say and you're like insult, insult, insult. It's just kind of like I'm building myself up and I'm doing a great job, and no matter what I say, you're going to be captivated. So I want something like that where you don't know what end you're going to get for the character, but you know it's going to be entertaining. As far as build goes, if we could have somebody who has the mic skills of frontman Jaw but the look of Alex Hammerstone, I mean, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
The dude's a meat castle.
Yeah.
And I would say style-wise, we're going MLW again, but Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu's got that. He's just got the power game. He's got the agility for your big man. He can high fly. He can sell. He can do pretty much everything except for the mic work. He just does the yell. That's why you got Joseph Samael, both of them. But yeah. So like, if we got a dude who's the all-rounder like Jacob Fatu with the selling ability, you got like the body shape and like build of Alex Hammerstone, but with the mic work of frontman Jaw, I feel like you got like the perfect wrestler. It's like nothing's too over the top and nothing's too underwhelming, just enough that you have the flaws to make things interesting, but you have the skill to make sure that things are always good.
Such good shit. As you were, Robbie, your notes better be ready.
They're ready, man. So since we've been doing this podcast, I know you said at the beginning of the show, Nick, you probably told the people that TJ here does all our video packages and helps us with our graphics and stuff like that.
Alex Kane loved it.
Yeah, from our first show with James D. Drake to our last show that we had with the House of Wolves, of all the big video packages you did, what was your favorite one to do, and kind of give us a little insight of what goes into your thought process when you start making these?
Okay, so
because like Matt just said, everybody that's that's seen one of your video packages, the guests, they've all said how awesome they were.
Which is awesome, because I've been doing these since I started Indie Movement, and very rarely did I really ever get feedback. It was just because I appreciated the wrestler themselves. And I'm like, I want to make sure that other people see you, but I also want to make it more than just them sitting through like 20 minutes of wrestling. So if I can make it palatable and entertaining and flow with the music, I feel like that's a more entertaining way to really know who they are.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've been doing. And up until recently, I haven't really been getting feedback on it. So I love doing the video packages for this. But I really just lay down. I try to get like them walking to the ring first. And then I do like some signature moves. And then I do big spots after that. And then I try to end it with like one longer thing, like a good move where they like hit them hard. They fall down. The selling is immaculate, so I can fade out into their name. And then I just think of what's a song that I know that starts off hard and fades right around the timing of the next move, and then bounces right back up in the middle when I need it. And I go through all the songs that I know or all the songs that I have currently, and I test drive them. And I also try to think of like what the vibe of the wrestler is. Like my favorite one so far was Alex Kane, because I knew what stuff he liked, And I looked at the vibe, and I was like, okay, sort of like bouncy hip hop with an underground feel without it going too hard, like a laid back old school hip hop feel. And so all I did was I reached out to my friend Charlie Soul, who's on the same management company that I'm on in Manchester, New Hampshire. And I was like, hey, can I use your music? He said, sure. And I laid it all out, and it came out really good. And that's like the best response I've got so far was Alex Kane, I feel. So I just do that every single. I just use that same process every week. Just measuring out what the timing is of the video clips that I use. And I just think of what do I have in my phone or that I can easily acquire that fits that timing and fits that vibe the best that I can.
That's what you're an artist, dude. Seriously, man. Thank you for all the hard work you do, dude.
Yes. And Nick, I have a question for you. Oh, Dad. Question.
Yes, son.
And this is going to sound weird, but this is going to end up coming right back to Mr. Vegas over here. Are we in a democracy right now?
No,
sure.
Okay. Robbie, are we in a
cheerocracy
right now?
Oh, well,
Yes!
Okay.
I love Bring It On.
Mr. Vegas,
Yeah.
For Halloween, not necessarily this year. I know it's in a couple of days. I have one request. Maybe next year. I have one request that you have to dress up as because you fit the mold fucking perfectly, I think.
Oh, shit.
The quintessential stud muffin. Joel motherfucking Gertner.
Oh,
I want to see you in the neck
good.
brace and the bow tie, and you already got like the Chewbacca look like your boy. So like we can just get you a little suit and just ignore this shirt and you can walk around and just throw one-liners as Gertner.
I'd be down with that. Yeah, I'd be down with that.
Yes.
I can book that.
I'm holding you to that, Dad. You're closer. You can get a hold of Mr. Boss here way quicker than I can.
This year I'm going as Ice Ernie from Hocus Pocus. I'm growing my hair out right now, which is driving me fucking mad. But I'm shaving the word ice into the back of my head.
I appreciate you.
You with hair is very awkward, and I don't know that I like it.
I don't like it either.
God, I can't wait to see you as Joel Gertner. I think you're gonna pull it the shit off. Oh my God.
Yeah, next year I gotta be Joel Gertner. Joel Gertner from ECW, the one with the neck brace.
Yes.
Yeah, she's about it.
Just because she's screaming doesn't mean I'm hurting her. Gertner.
I gotta, as an aside, I'm gonna say this so you guys can remind me that I said this later. I've got to get old friend of Robbie's, Mr. Graves, to hook me up on a Gertner. He's got his number and everything.
Yeah. I talked to him. But yeah, you did it. Like, yeah, I saw that in the intro video. Yeah, that was
Vegas
cool.
Diet TJ. He listens to the show. He's gonna get so mad that I said that. Anyway,
whatever. It wouldn't be me on a podcast if somebody didn't get their feelings hurt.
Yeah, somebody's got to get a little angry.
A little bit.
Oh man. So, let's see. We already covered your one to watch. Give me like 3 to watch for the rest of this year. I know you said Alex Price.
Anything in particular you're looking for?
Let's go. Okay, let's go. 1 technical, 1 strong style, 1 death match.
Okay. I'm sure you know Brian Keith.
Obviously.
Okay, I've been really into him lately, especially since watching New Texas Pro.
Yeah.
Okay. Super Beast.
Okay.
Super Beast. He's a powerhouse. He's out of California. You said technical.
Yeah.
Technical. Brad Cashew is pretty good. He's from the Northeast. He's technical, but he also talks a lot of shit. So it's really fun. And then deathmatch wise, fuck. You pretty much know all the same deathmatch guys that I know.
Well, I know that. They
okay, but everybody out in the internet world,
for the real world.
Okay.
Spend fucking 50 hours a week watching indie wrestling like us.
Hook 'em up.
Okay, obscure. One of my favorite deathmatch wrestlers, rather obscure. So you probably won't find too much, but what you find will be good. He's out of Australia. His name is Cracker Jack. It's with a K.
Wait a minute.
And
Did you
he's
pull out
really
somebody
good.
I haven't heard of?
Yeah, he's trained a lot with Mad Dog out of Australia. He's trained Vixen out of Australia.
Okay.
I used to be really into Melbourne City Wrestling.
Yeah.
And he recently retired a couple years ago from there, but he's still one of the trainers. And he was like notorious in the Australia, New Zealand scene as far as deathmatch goes. So if you want somebody new to check out, which is kind of like all over the place style wise, but really good storyteller in deathmatch wrestling, I suggest Cracker Jack.
You got me. Someone has finally done it. This is the indie equivalent of MLJ busting out Barry Horowitz on me. Like, I knew Barry Horowitz, but he busted out dates of Barry Horowitz matches, and I was like, holy fuck, it's happened.
See, I couldn't do that because I didn't watch wrestling really back then.
Dude, Minnick wasn't here. Robbie, you were here. When he busted out the date Barry Horowitz beat Skip.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I was listening to that, and I was just like, how you know that?
And then I was like,
I can give
gotta
you a
be
rough
wrong. And then I
year.
pull out the Google machine. I was like, holy fuck, he got it down to the day.
I was like, I can give you a rough year estimate, but if you know the day and the month and everything, I'm like, he's like, yeah, it was like a Tuesday at like 7:45 p.m. And you're like, fuck you.
And they filmed it in Secaucus.
It was rainy that day.
Why did MLJ sound like that?
It was an overcast.
Yeah. Well, you just kind of mentioned that you weren't even watching wrestling. Like you said, you started watching deathmatch wrestling before you even started watching the main brands and stuff. So this is probably going to be my last question for the evening. So I just want to ask you, and you might have already told me this in another interview that we had, but how'd you get into wrestling to begin with, if it wasn't from the main brands?
Okay, so I got into it because I went to a friend's house, and my friend's dad was watching a VHS of XPW.
Nice. Yes.
Welcome.
And I was like, what is this?
Yeah,
he's like, this is professional wrestling. It's not like that stuff you see on TV. And I went, there's this stuff on TV? and he goes, yeah. And then so I was like, hey, I want to watch wrestling. And they're like, hey, you're not watching wrestling.
Yeah.
And then I just like switched through the channels one day and I found wrestling. So I was watching that. And they told me, hey, you're not watching this, which was WCW. So then I kept switching through the channels trying to find something to watch later on in the night. And I came across WWF. And I was like, cool. So I just switched back and forth between those, but was mostly into WCW at the time. Sorry. I keep having like these weird hiccups. So I was very much into XPW because that was my first experience into it. Fuck them now. I don't like that shit now. But then WCW was my first mainstream thing, and I was all about that, despite it being in the very weakest point of WCW overall.
Yeah.
It was like 98, 99. Yeah. Like the 99 era, and it was not a good time for that. So yeah, I was watching that. And then I got into WWE. And the only thing I don't remember the match, but I remember hearing something like Shane McMahon and the Big Show facing somebody. And they said the Big Show weighed 500 pounds. And my mind was blown. I was like, yo, these dudes get that big? And I was like, there's no way. That's like 3 people stacked on top of each other in a costume. And then I'm like 7 feet tall. And I was like, oh, that's believable.
Yeah.
And
Real quick.
From then on out, I was kind of like, yeah, this is my thing.
I have to, I don't know if I've ever told you this. I may have. God, we've been talking for so many years at this point, but GQ from XPW moved to Nashville at one point with his girlfriend, Valentina, who kind of a cunt. But I had a whole bunch of XPW DVDs. I was in love with XPW. Thought it was the coolest shit in the world. And I was missing like 3. of like the main releases because Suncoast Video never had them.
Yeah.
And I told GQ, and he showed up the next week to the show because we were working shows together in Nashville. Showed up to the show the next week and had those 3 DVDs. He goes, "Here you go." The fact that anyone's still watching this is wild to me because this was like 2005, like long after it had shut down. Like the fact that anyone is still watching this shit here,
but then he did Wrestling Society X and he came
which
back.
was gold.
It was. I'm so mad that they only got one full season out of it. They had a second season scheduled, which Matt Classic was going to reveal himself to be Colt Cabana.
Man,
and they were gonna add more people into the mix, and then they just never did it.
I hope that Tyler Black kid had a good career for himself because, like,
Man,
who knows?
If only.
Like he had something in Wrestle Society X, and then it just kind of faded away, I guess.
Dude, the fact that there was an emo tag team for me in 2005, 2006,
DIFH.
I was the happiest kid on the planet. Trying to listen to MCR and watch Jimmy Jacobs.
I was really happy whenever I saw the white trash boys or whatever, the Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah. And then as I was watching, I saw more of Nate Webb and progressively less and less of Josh Raymond. And I was like, I'm sad now because now he does like 3 shows a year. And all I want is more Josh Abercrombie in my life.
Yes. You put that video up on TikTok a few weeks back of like dudes that you miss in indie wrestling. And I got so sad because I'm like, where the fuck is Shane Hollister?
Yeah. He was just doing stuff. And then I think he was doing some training with Black and Brave Wrestling Academy.
I think he trains at the Black and Brave.
And then he just disappeared.
Yeah.
And I think now he's officially retired.
That sucks.
All right, let me ask you the hardest question of the night as we wind this down.
No, I'm pretty
hard.
I hope
you're ready because I've thrown some haymakers here. So,
okay.
Growing up, since you bring up WCW as like your first mainstream love,
yeah.
Who was your favorite wrestler from then, and why is it Evan Courageous?
What?
Dude, you joke about that, but Evan was not terrible. He was pretty solid.
3
Evan
count.
Courageous was awful.
3 count was a collection of really good wrestlers given a goofy gimmick, and they made it work. They made Tank Abbott love boy bands.
Tank Abbott had the nipple cut shirt.
Yeah. Easier access.
Blast right there.
But in all honesty, my favorite wrestler from back then was a tie between DDP and Goldberg. Because Goldberg back in the day was like a superhero. And when you're a young child and you see somebody like Goldberg, you're like, that's my dude. He's going to fucking protect me. He's the coolest dude ever. He is a badass. And like, I was like, hell yeah. And then they just couldn't leave well enough alone. And they brought him back. And now it's like, why? Everything I loved about Goldberg is now no longer the case. I would rather just keep him in my past when I had fond memories. But DDP will always be my favorite WCW wrestler of all time.
Although him and Lashley at Crown Jewel, begrudgingly, was
no. Stop it.
Wasn't bad.
Stop it.
Wasn't good.
I never seen Goldberg sell. You never really get a chance to really see him actually like work a match.
Can I throw this out there because I
55
brought up
years old
DDP?
with a spear off the stage. Come on now.
Yeah,
Can I bring this out there because I threw out DDP? I want to see if anybody else remembers this.
Probably.
When Canyon was spoofing DDP.
Positively Canyon.
They did all those commercials where he was like on the giant steps of like a fucking monument and he was like, bang! And then he hit somebody with like a running cutter and then just look around like, oh shit, the cops are coming. And he would run away.
There was
the best.
There was one point in time, dude, like back then, dude, when I actually, after he took off the mask after Mortis, dude, I honestly thought that Canyon and DDP were related. I'm serious because they got similar body types and they talk kind of the same.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I have a thought that I need to express.
What's her name?
It's actually JJ Garrett. It's just Thought Steiner.
I love him.
If TJ down there is going to be Joel Gertner for Halloween next year, I already know what Robbie's going to be, and it's going to be ridiculous. This year, next year, Robert Cutthroat needs to be positively cutthroat.
No, hold on. Let me see you and raise you a little bit because he already kind of has the look with the mustache and everything he's got. Big Dick Dudley.
I could do that.
Lash LaRue.
I would do Lash LaRue, but my wife would kill me if I cut the beard.
I was rewatching episodes of Nitro and Thunder and stuff, and there was one episode where they said "cut my damn music" like 7 times.
Nice.
And then Scott Steiner, I think he killed Chuck Palumbo in the back room with a weight set, threw it right into a hamper like for laundry and shit, and just threw it right in there. And now forever, everybody in the Just Plain Filthy, every time we hear Chuck Palumbo, we go, the ghost of Chuck Palumbo. Everything you've seen after 99 has just been the ghost of Chuck Palumbo.
Since we're winding down anyways and we're on this whole WCW kick,
yeah,
can we get Prince Iakea on the show?
I will do my best just for you.
I would love to have the artist formerly known as Prince.
Can you get Bryan Adams?
I feel like that's not possible.
I mean, Chris Van Vliet did. Talked to him for like an hour.
I
think it's possible.
Well, I thought Bryan Adams was dead.
No.
Different one.
It depends
Bryan
on
Adams and Brian Clark are both still very much alive.
Yeah, there was the like, you know, the global wrestling Chris Adams, the super kick Chris Adams.
We're talking about Bryan Adams.
Bryan Adams, Adam Bomb.
Adam Bomb,
No,
yeah.
Brian Clark.
Oh,
Brian
yeah. Oh, Brian.
Yeah,
Is
no, Bryan Adams is dead.
Yeah.
Kona Crush, he's dead.
Oh shit. Well,
Brian,
then get the one
Brian
that's
Clark,
alive.
Adam Bomb.
He was the fake. He was the
Get
fake.
the one that's alive.
The fake Razor, right?
No.
Fake Razor was.
Ask him
Rick Wagner
exclusively
for
chronic questions.
I'm losing my mind.
You're high, aren't you, Robbie?
Yeah,
No.
we're bringing up Rick Wagner quotes. Jesus Christ.
Just ask him exclusively chronic questions.
That's all I'll do. We're just gonna spend an hour talking about the Chronic versus Brothers of Destruction match.
Be like, yo, is Undertaker a good hugger? Or does he just do the whole double tap on the back and then leave?
Oh man. Well, goddamn. That was a quick fucking hour, boys.
Yeah. Entertaining from start to finish.
Dude, I had fun. I love these shows. I love when we do the ones where it is just us shooting the shit. Like, those are just the more relaxed episodes. Like, this is kind of what the MLJ show was like, too, where it was just, let's just talk about wrestling. Like, we want to do
that. That episode was so good. I could relate to so much of it.
Just the fact that he quoted, Hitman Hollow versus Averb at the end for me. And I was like, that used to be my text message tone. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah, we're bonding.
After hearing that episode, and he was doing like his rap that he wrote, and then I hit him up after, like the day after it aired. I was like, hey, hearing you doing your rap stuff on the podcast gets me thinking. Do you want to be a feature on a song later on down the line? And he was like, sure.
That's all I need.
Who knows?
I need MLJ on a Kill Murray track.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
go check out my album. It's on Spotify.
Hold on. I'm going to give you the fucking stage. Don't worry. Main event TJ over here.
Jump in the dark.
So you listen to the show. You know the fucking deal. You know what I'm about to do. So hype your socials, hype your album. Go check out Kill Murray before he even says it. I'm going to say it. So, TJ, you know I love you, buddy. Do your thing.
Okay, so if you are on Facebook, if you are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform, you can find me at KillMurray603. You can also find the Indy Movement on Instagram and TikTok at the Indy Movement, and on Twitter at Indy Movement _. We are all over the place. I just dropped an album on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, whatever streaming platform. It's called Kill Murray. It's my self-titled. Check it out. Check out the Indie Movement. Thank you very much for this time. It's been fun.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much, dude.
Check out Kill Murray.
Hey, do what he's doing. Follow me.
So yeah, I'm just gonna let you stay on because this is my favorite part, and you're like my best friend. So fuck it, I'm gonna let you stay on for the close.
Cool.
That was your boy TJ Vegas. It's his fault this thing even exists. So we are sponsored by the Indie Movement. Just everything you want to learn about indie wrestling, go check out the Indie Movement because they cover fucking everything. I help sometimes. When I can get into the Twitter, but I can't get into Twitter right now. We're gonna have to figure that out tonight.
Right. I'll talk to you about it.
Yeah. For some reason, that deleted the password. Anyway, we are also on the Music City Drive-In Podcast Network. Definitely check out all those guys talking about movies, TV, fantasy sports, actual sports, everything that you want to learn. Sunday, the Halloween episode, we will have the rejects. Robbie Cutthroat's going to be dressed as something insane. Just be ready. I'm probably just going to take my glasses off and pretend to be Tommy Dreamer. Next Thursday, we will be here. You're getting 3 episodes in 7 days from your boys at the Indie Movement. And next week, born and raised in the swats of Atlanta, Georgia, AC Mac will be on the show next Thursday night. It's going to be a fucking banger.
Well, now I don't have to ask you who I'm doing the video for next.
AC Mac, yeah. Actually,
cool.
We'll talk later. Yeah, AC Mac, though. It's going to be fucking insane. Don't put his intro in. I got a thing planned. So, I love you guys. Matt, Robbie, been killer. I will talk to you guys. Well, I'll talk to you. I mean, we'll talk after the show, but I'll see you next Thursday, Matt. See you Sunday, Robbie. TJ, I'll probably talk to you every fucking day like I do anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Uncutt Podcast. We will see you next week. Robbie, I've got a little of the drain damage. How many clicks is it, Robbie?
I'm only going to do it if TJ Vegas does it with me.
Oh, God. Do the thing.
1 and 2.
I hate you so much.